The thing about freelancing is that it's a feast and famine type of business, and sometimes it's more famine than feast. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this episode kind of sounds like a TV series, right? In this video, I'm going to share with you what I actually do as a freelance full stack web developer. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos, my name is Joel. I'm the creator of pixandweb.com, and I'm a self-taught full stack web developer. I create videos that teach people how to code, understand what it takes to be a freelance developer, how bloggers and businesses can use WordPress to power their websites, how to code custom WordPress themes and plugins, and general tips for people looking just to learn about code. So if you're interested in these topics, then definitely subscribe to this channel and make sure to hit that notification icon so when I release a new video, you'll be notified. Now, just for some background, I'm a freelance developer and I work from home. I create websites for bloggers, realtors, and small businesses. But creating websites is just one part of my business model. One of the things I do on a daily basis is focus on how I make money. I stay on top of that because I like to eat. I'm a big believer in creating multiple streams of income. As a freelancer, it's kind of a must. And this is because you never know what's gonna happen on any given day. Now, if you're working a 9 to 5, you're really not that concerned about this, but it's not a bad idea to have some side money coming in. So a quick recommendation for those who are new to this, who want to be a developer, a coder, a programmer working from home, or even if you're working for a company, it's important for you to find multiple ways to make money with what you know and what you do. For me, I make money in about 7 different ways. 1, working with clients. That's the freelancing part. 2, I also sell domain names and web hosting. 3, I sell WordPress themes on my website. 4, as you might have seen below this video, or on the side of this video, I'm showcasing some code-related t-shirts. Make sure to check out my merch. 5, I also provide ongoing monthly website maintenance for my clients. 6, affiliate marketing via Amazon and Google Ads on my website. 7, AdSense for my YouTube videos. Thank you all for your support. Seriously, thank you. As of the recording of this video, I have just over 22,000 subscribers, and to me, that's amazing. You see, I'm a coder first. I code every single day, creating videos and writing tutorials. Now that's something I'm still getting used to. Even after uploading over 300 videos to YouTube and writing hundreds of articles on my website, I'm still getting used to the process of taking what's in my mind and creating a video or tutorial about that. So thank you for helping me grow this channel. Now, 2 other things that I'm getting ready to start doing is creating a podcast about code, about being a full stack developer, about being a freelancer. And something I've been working on for a while now is I've been writing a book on code. It's amazing how difficult it could be to write a technical book. So yeah, multiple streams of income, but all related to what I do. And the fact that they're all related makes it easier for me to manage. And that's important because each day can get hectic. Now, one of my favorite ways of making money is by creating WordPress themes for the DIY types. This is great because the themes, they cost about $10 to $60, and people go to my website and purchase them. So some might call that passive income or passive revenue. What I do is I make sure the theme is coded well and providing value to the person. So that's the active work up front. But with theme sales, you're not really working with clients. Again, I create the theme, and that's the active part, and I let my website do the selling for me 24/7, 365. That's kind of the passive part. But then it goes back to the active part because I have to market that theme. I have to market my website. So that's active. So it really can't be considered passive income. So I spend a lot of time working on my DevWP WordPress development training theme. I spend time working on Evo Pro, which is a general purpose WordPress theme. And I have a project I've been working on for a while now that will hopefully be a game changer. And I'll soon announce that. Again, if you're looking to become a freelance developer, I think it's important for you to have multiple streams of income, whether you're selling themes, plugins, templates, whatever. Just make sure you have more than one way to make money. This is important because it'll be helpful when your pipeline of clients isn't that full. The thing about freelancing is that it's a feast and famine type of business, and sometimes it's more famine than feast. But now, what are my skill sets as a full stack developer? Well, this means that I work with several languages for both the front end and the back end, from HTML to CSS to JavaScript, jQuery, Node.js, Gulp.js, PHP, MySQL, Git, Bootstrap for the front end, and WordPress as the CMS. I also work with all 3 operating systems from Windows, macOS, and Linux. I know, it sounds like a lot. And it is, but I've been doing this for a very long time. And I started off with the basics and I made my way through the various languages. And to be honest, I'm still learning. Early on, I realized that if I wanted to be a freelance web developer, I needed to know the entire stack. I like knowing what's taking place at every part of the process. For me, it gives me a sense of control and it's how I like to work. But it's not for everyone. There are developers who either work at the front end or the back end. They either work as a subcontractor for another developer or as a remote worker for a larger company, or work behind the scenes as a project manager. Now, that's definitely a smart thing to do if you want to just focus on one aspect of developing websites. And it's kind of ideal if you don't want to worry about the business side of being a coder, if you don't want to worry about marketing, lead generation, social media marketing, search engine optimization, and all those things that kind of take away your time from coding. There's a phrase that I like: jack of all trades, master of none. And that kind of applies to the freelance full stack developer. But you'd be surprised how much you could actually learn. Now, as a freelancer, when I talk to a small business, they don't ask me what languages I know or what libraries or frameworks I'm working with or what my web stack is. What they do ask me is if I can create a website for their type of business and how much would that cost. And that's one of the main differences between a freelancer and someone who works for a company. A company is going to be concerned with what language you know or what framework you're using. But again, as a freelancer, when I talk to local businesses, their major concern is if I can get a website created for them that meets their needs. Another thing I like about being a full stack developer is that it enables me to pivot. In this always changing field of web development, it's good to have a variety of skill sets. And it allows me to take on more than one type of work. I can create a real estate website, I can create a blogger-centric website, I can create a small business website, I could do some subcontract work if I chose to. There's a lot of options. Now again, it's not for everyone, so if you don't feel like being a full stack freelance web developer is what you're looking to do, then you may want to just focus on one aspect, either the front end or the back end of web design and development. Or you could take it a step further and you could just focus on one particular language like JavaScript, PHP, or Python. By just focusing on one language, you can master that language. And then you can kind of make a name for yourself as the go-to person for that particular language. That's not a bad way to make a name for yourself. And when you become the go-to person for that language, companies are going to start looking for you versus you looking for them. Now, that being said, it could take years to develop master level skills with any programming language. And another thing to remember is that you're going to be dependent on another developer or company for your business model. Now, that could be a pro or a con, depends how you look at it. For me, I like being a one-man operation. And while I do know the entire stack, I also do use a front-end framework like Bootstrap and a CMS like WordPress, which helps me to keep my projects affordable and to get jobs done fast. And that is important. You could also use a PHP framework like Laravel, or you could use Django for Python. Ultimately, it's about streamlining your workflow as a freelancer. So this is a breakdown of what I do. 1. Staying on top of the various coding languages I work with. There will always be changes to how your language works, and deprecated code can cause major headaches when bugs are introduced. 2. Keeping up with industry news. You have to make sure you know what the latest trends are, or what direction your industry is going in. I don't recommend chasing trends, but it's important to stay on top of them. 3. Testing out ideas with side projects or concept code. It's kind of like doing research and development. This is important to stay ahead of the game and helps you expand your coding knowledge. 4. Marketing my services by blogging, creating code tutorials with code snippets on my website, being active on social media, emailing my list, basically just trying to spread the word of what I do. Number 5, keeping my WordPress themes up to date. It is a major source of my quasi-passive income. Number 6, managing my clients' websites with ongoing contract work. Most website owners will need you to do some continued work after the main job is done. Number 7, staying on top of SEO, CRO, social media marketing, and pretty much anything that I need to focus on in terms of marketing my business. Number 8, learning new programming languages. Quick tip, the first language is always the hardest. After a while, you develop the programmer's mindset, and then all you really have to do is learn the syntax of the next coding language and how it differs from your main language. Number 9, I also try to dedicate some time each day to just thinking and trying to build up my creativity. Number 10, creating videos for you. Now, what are the pros of being a freelance web developer? Well, to me, one of the best things is that I get to be my own boss. I get to set the hours that I want to work, and I get to choose the projects I want to work on. And honestly, the fact that I can work from home or anywhere I can go with my laptop and get an internet connection, now that's awesome. Another pro is that I really can't get fired. There's always going to be a gig out there for me, and I could be working on multiple projects at the same time. Now, that being said, what are the cons of being a freelance web developer? One of the biggest issues is going to be finding work, especially when you're brand new to this field. It could take months before you get your first client. Another issue is there's no 401k plan or health benefits for you, so you're gonna have to kind of deal with that on your own. And then there's always the issue of working from home. While it can be a plus, it could also be a con if you have a full house. You gotta be able to focus on your business. Now, the average person who works for a company or works for another business, they go to work. So when they're at work, they really can't be interrupted. That's kind of understood. But when you're working from home, you're home and you kind of always seem available to do something. And that's what you gotta be careful for. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, and your entire day has just disappeared. You have to protect your time. Another thing is, unless you're working in an incubator or a Silicon Valley type house where you have all your developer friends living with you and you're working on a project together, you're gonna be working alone, often in isolation for extended period of times. So that means that you're in charge of your discipline, your focus, and your motivation. And let me tell you, it's not always easy to do. Where can you find work as a freelancer? Now, this is a very important part of it because you have to make sure that you're prepared to jump into freelance web development. It could be a huge financial burden. Again, it could take months before you get your first client. That's why it's important for you to have a couple of months worth of money saved up. You want to make sure that you're not going to be stressed or distracted with trying to figure out how you're going to pay the bills that month. This is also why it's important to live well below your means. You don't want to start spending money like crazy just because you have a new contract. Now, as to finding work, what you should do at first is try to work your sphere of influence. Check out some of the local businesses in your area. Go to networking events like at the Chamber of Commerce or any other business type entity within your market. Now, at the same time, you want to build your brand online. You want to get your website. You want to create quality content and place it on your website. You want to get the social media handles that match your domain name. Like I've said it before, my website is pixumweb.com, and the vast majority of my social media handles are pixumweb. So that's an important thing to do to develop your brand. And also make sure you're emailing everybody you know. Now, if you have a budget for it, you may want to advertise online. It's amazing how affordable advertising can be on some of the social media websites. You can create a video ad here on YouTube. You can create ads on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Pretty much every social media website has a way for you to advertise with them. But then you may want to take it a step further and advertise in a local newspaper. I'm not talking about the big papers. I'm talking about the very local ones that might have affordable rates when it comes to local businesses. And this is great because other businesses that are advertising there are gonna be looking at their ads. Then they're gonna look at the paper and they're gonna stumble upon your ad. And that might be a possible connection for you. And if you combine that with your local strategy of meeting up with local businesses, you can become the go-to person within your local community. Now, what about the freelancing websites? This might seem like a natural place to start. I mean, it's a freelancing website. You're providing web development services. You're a freelancer. But the thing is with these platforms is that they already have established developers and freelancers on there that have already built up their rating system, have already been identified by the algorithm, and will be featured to new people visiting that site. So it's going to be an uphill battle for you. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't try it, but you shouldn't depend on it. So that's that. That's what I do as a full stack freelance web developer. And these are some of the tips that I think are very important. Again, to me, being a freelancer working from home is a major plus. I get to spend a lot of time with my family, and pretty much I can work from anywhere as long as I have my laptop. So if I'm going on vacation, guess what? I can work if I have to. If I'm going to the coffee shop, I can work. To me, there's nothing else I'd rather be doing. Now, if you're interested in learning how to create custom WordPress themes, because remember, it's a great way to generate some type of passive income, then check out my WordPress development training theme called DevWP. Even if you're not looking to become a full-time WordPress developer, it's still a great way to make some side money while you pursue your goals with code. I have a few videos here on YouTube, and the theme itself can be found on my website. I'll leave a link to that in the description area down below. Also, if you're new to my channel, then check out some of my other videos in the video card in the upper right hand corner. And take a look at the library of videos I have here on YouTube. If you like what you see, then make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And as always, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy coding.